Going live.
Going live in 3. And we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the usual. We're on with Dominic Negus and
Hi,
Danny
hi
Wright.
guys.
And we're going to have a bit of a laugh, bit of a chat.
We are indeed.
See how it goes. How's it going, lads?
All good, mate. All good, Jack.
All good here, Jack. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Spent 3 days on this place, getting it all looking nice for this specific podcast.
Is that all VHS behind you?
It is VHS, mate.
Proper. I haven't even got a player anymore. I've got a load of videos. Don't know what.
Yeah, we don't want to know about your videos, Dan. Come on, what's been going on there? What's the word on the street?
Nothing this end, mate. So,
well, no, listen, things have been good. I've been training at Chaz Simmons. He's got that bare knuckle fight on that BKB, and he's on a pay-per-view thing. Was it on the 27th? Going to be a good scrap. That I mean, Dan, you remember him from the pros, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Seen him. Must have seen him box 7 or 8 times. Seen him fight for 2 Southern Area titles. Last one he won. I think that was probably 2013, 2014. But
good fight though. Very, yeah.
Lovely,
I mean, listen.
Great
I mean, Chaz. I mean, I was hoping to get Chaz on tonight, so. But I think he's just beef for his running that. I mean, I just told him to wrap things up now. We've got a week of training left. Yeah. I mean, it's really good for him. It's pay-per-view. We don't know where the venue is yet because it's all very hush still. I think we find out. I think next Wednesday where the venue's going to be. But
good sparring though, Dom. Yeah.
He's been sparring. Well, he's been sparring with Tyler Goodjohn. Been having some good sessions down there, and he's also been sparring here a young lad called Gio. He's only young, but he could be a prospect. But we've been training down at TW1's in Ongar, Wild Bill's gym. Obviously, because Sparta's not been open because of the COVID.
No.
But I mean, it's got this. I mean, the bare knuckle thing ain't really my. I know it's a bit funny. It's a bit too. What do I call it? Not aggressive, but it's a bit too. On the, I don't know, just too much blood for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like people say, "What do you mean?" But I mean, it's like you get sometimes it's not the better man wins. It's quite gory. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great sport. This BKB are taking it to a different level. But it's really, I think like next week's going to be a good. I mean, I think there's about 15 fights on. I think there's a world title. There's a world title fight, and I know Paul Hills. I can't remember where he's fighting, but Paul Hills is fighting for a title, so that's going to be a good night. And I said, obviously, we've got Chaz on, which is going to be great. Obviously, I mean, we're quite lucky. Me and Bill been told we can do the corner on the night, so that's going to be interesting to have that kind of close up look to see it. I mean, people going, man, do you fancy having a go? Stay at my face. I don't need no more scars. You know what I mean? I've definitely got a face, mate, for radio. But all I can say is like it's been really good. It's got me back in the gym. So as I said, you were probably going to fight again now, end of the year.
He reached out to you, didn't he, Dom?
Who's that? Chaz did? Yeah. I mean, obviously, I've known Chaz for years. We go back years. And it was nice that he asked me to train. Because obviously when I, Dan, with the boxing, I walked away from it. After, what happened with the boys, basically. I just had enough. But when Chaz said, oh, Dom, could you help me train? I said, well, of course I can. We go back a long way. And it's given me that little bit of taste back for it. So, so hopefully, like we're looking, I'll probably be boxing again by the end. I'm 50 now, so obviously I can't be getting in there with any young whippersnappers. But I mean, it'd be just nice to get back in there
with you, mate.
Hey?
I'm not getting in there with you. Fuck that.
No, but it's just, it's made me like, I want to start training again. If I lose a couple of stone, I'd be well happy, and it's like, perhaps that's what I needed a break from it, also make me realise what I've missed. So, but it's it's all good stuff, and I've been doing a bit of work with a fella called Adam Hillaby, with to do with mental health issues. He came around and did a video for a couple of hours. We're talking about men like ourselves, you Jack and you Dan, about like we're what we call like grassroots kind of workers suffering from like, you know, this depression. Like it's quite a massive thing now, ain't it?
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
You know, obviously where Tyson Fury's brought it to light, you know, and it just make you realise that, you know, not all of us are all right, are we? You know, we say we're all right, but we're not. We've all got problems, and you know, and this whole thing. Hey, look, it's Chaz. Chaz is in the house.
How you doing, Chaz?
Can you see us?
Yeah.
Look. He's just trying to.
Oi, Dom, you big
you on, mate? Go on. Right, this is Dan. Dan's to your left, and
we know each other. Right, Chaz, how you doing?
How are you? I don't know how to get this on a group thing. I can only see.
No, you want it, mate. You are. Well, we can see you, mate.
Yeah, I can't see you. Well, how do I do that, babe? Look, if I push that, how do I get them all in the group thing? Do you know what I mean? I'm only seeing one person.
I think it's because it's set onto speaker view.
Right.
If you put, there's 4 boxes. There's a square. It's made up of 4 boxes at the top. If you click that, that should change the view.
Square.
Yeah, it's not coming up on his phone.
What's that there?
I'll have to switch to a different mode.
That's me fucking.
Trust you, Chaz.
Yeah.
I can see you though, mate.
I can see you.
I've got 4 of you. Well, 4 of us all together.
4. The old woman's trying to roll it, so you can't see her.
And I just see your green curtains.
No,
Can't you get this ugly mug in there? Look, you're there, Chaz. You're there, mate. Look, you're in there. Try and move over to your left a little bit, Chaz, if you can. Or
the old woman's got the phone, mate, because I can't see the 4 of you. I can't see no one.
Well, if you move your camera to your right a bit, there, you're banging the middle now. You're banging the middle.
Right, but I can't see you.
No. But Jack, can you see him?
I can see everything, mate.
Yeah, so we can see you. Some way you're on, mate. Listen, I'm glad you come on, Chad. We were just talking about the fight on the 27th. I'll let you, you want to plug it, mate. Off you go, mate. Just tell them about your training, about the pay-per-view thing.
Yeah, right.
Off you go. Well, that's enough, Chaz. All right, anyway, over to you, Jack.
How'd the sparring with Tyler?
Great bit of sparring. Lovely bit of sparring as it goes. He's a tough lad.
Yeah.
I mean, that was worth just watching that, weren't it, Chow? I mean, I thought you sparred great. And obviously, Tyler's a great fighter.
You know it's a great sparring when you come home and you have to put ice on your face because you're fucking sore, you know what I mean? You know you've had a good old spar.
He's had a few bare knuckles as well, hasn't he?
What's he had? Yeah, he's had 3 and he's had 2 in America now. So he's doing good, he's doing well. I stood behind, didn't I, Dom?
No, shut up, mate. It's brilliant. It was lovely to watch, mate. I said also, you've got to give the young lad Gio a little shout out. He done some rounds with you as well, moved you around a bit, didn't he? So that was good. I mean, it was all, I think it's panned out great, like training-wise, how it's worked out. And obviously, Bill, I mean, like, obviously, I've been helping out, I could say, probably 30%, where Bill's done the other 70 with you. You know what I mean? We were lucky with Bill, obviously TW1, you know what I mean? Let's use the gym now. I mean, he's been brilliant, ain't he? So, I mean, without him, I think we would have been right in a bit of a pickle.
Well, he's giving me a new lifeline, and he's offered me a job now in the gym in Essex, in TW1.
What's that doing? What, sweeping up, you mug?
No, I'm making the copies. Because you're shit.
No, you ain't making the copies. Your copies crap.
We're sacking you and making copies. I'm taking over.
Story of my life.
Never made me a cup of coffee.
Do you know what?
I never made no one nothing.
I hate this bald bastard.
Yeah, I did, mate. How'd you go on today, though, Chaz? Good session today?
Good session today.
Well, what I was pleased as you said, you told me you weight today, bang on.
I'm under now.
More than happy. We're bang on weight, and we're week out, ain't we? You know what I mean? Which is great. So, that's what we like.
I've just got an article in the Daily Mail and the Star. Is it the Daily Star and the Daily Mail?
Yeah.
They've approached us. They want to do a story on me.
Brilliant.
I don't fucking know why.
Is that the bag you coming out the closet?
Just a double-hard scaffolder, the world's hardest.
You know that double-hard scaffolder.
The world's hardest on Wikipedia. Everyone's took it, isn't they? So I've got to run with it.
No, it's brilliant, mate.
What was the scaff video you did? Everyone was talking about it at the time.
Yeah, that was.
And, no, you said a couple of things. I can't remember what it was, but it was hilarious. And people were doing impersonations of you doing it.
Viral. It went viral.
There's videos of people doing impersonations of you doing it. It's well funny.
I've done loads, mate. Double hard scaffolder, and that's what I'll go about. I used to have my own firm. I had one geezer on one job, and he said to me, "Come and get this scaffold down." And listen, I'm not proud of it. It's in my past. And I used to say, "Why are you going to drink and drive when you can do packet and fucking fly?" And I was going to scaffolding. One geezer,
You're lucky I don't drink anymore, Chaz. We'd be banging trouble, mate.
Mate, I'm telling you, there'd be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. But this has been. I'm just saying to the boys, when you come on, it's like you give me a bit of life back as yourself, like back in the gym. And I'm probably going to end up fighting again at the end of the year. Like we'll be training together after this fight, you know, which is
100%.
But it's just the banter we have in the gym now, ain't it? It's great, ain't it? It just makes us feel like kids again.
What? We're just the same people, aren't we? We're just
all of us
from the same cloth. Do you know what I mean? Like we say, loyalty's everything. It's hard to find mates out there now because everyone wants something off you and shits on you. It's nice to find people like yourself and build it, stand beside.
But look at you, saying, look at Bill. You know, he's a youngster compared to us, but feel like you know him all your life. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's got that.
To you, yeah.
Hey, don't you get fat just because your bird's next to you? You know what I mean? Did you ask her? She got a sister for me.
She's in the kitchen.
Above the way things are going.
I'm going to cancel this. I'm out.
No. Listen, we ain't going no worse than that, mate. This is like... No, but I'm just saying it's been great. We've all got... No, obviously... I mean, Dan's watched you box loads of times, mate.
Dan, I've seen you before and I can't...
Box Rec.
Box
You
Rec.
used to do Box Rec.
Box Rec, yes, you are. Dan, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
I
We were just talking about a fight you had at the Elephant and Castle with Gavin Tate. You remember that one?
I should have won that fucking fight.
I thought you did.
And I tell you what, when I went over, that Bob Williams, he hates me. He hates me.
Yeah.
He's a prick, the geezer.
Oh,
I told
He's
you that.
slapping people. Have you noticed?
He ain't referee
He
next
slaps
Saturday,
people.
you know?
One day he's going to get a right-hander. Tell you.
Honestly, the geezer prick. I messaged him on Facebook. He said, "Are you threatening me?" I said, "Not really." I said, "But when I see you, I'm going to put one on you." I said, "You're a fucking arsehole."
Well, that's not like you. Chance to speak your mind.
No, I know. But I fell over on a Gavin Tate fight. And he started counting me. So I started doing press-ups. I was like, "What are you on about? I just fell over, you idiot." And he's counting me. And I was like, "What are you doing, Bob? Why are you counting me? I was off balance. I fell over." So that made me lose 2 rounds.
Off balance. When you fell over and just a couple of left hooks, you know?
You're a prick.
I know, mate. I know. But, no, it's brilliant, mate. Brilliant. But but listen, everything's been great, though, ain't it? I mean, next time, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for next week. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great experience for you, mate. So
it's going to be great. They've just sent me through a contract. They want me to sign a contract.
What?
3-fight deal.
Good. Well, that's it.
I've got to go through the contract. They've given
you better get your lady to read that for you. You know what you're like.
They give me a little bit of bunts if I'd like to do a 3-fight deal contract.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read with it. But like they phoned me up and said, the Daily Mail, Daily Star phoned them up. They want to do a piece on me. But do you know what? It pisses me off because, so like I said to the old woman, I'm not a fucking celebrity. I'm a normal geezer. I'm a scaffolder. I'm a normal geezer.
Yeah, but this is why you got the chance now to put your, there's other people out there struggling like you, mate. Now you got the chance to help people. That's what
I just show my life and where I've been through, and I just put it on media. And it's gone from strength to strength, and I'm happy with it. But it's a lot of pressure on this fight. It's a lot of pressure.
No, we know that. And that, listen,
I've got a lot of people.
As much as I rate this BKB, I don't think they've done you any favours, mate. We know what you're there for, mate. We know what you're there for, or they think you're there for. But let's see what happens in the night. You know what we ain't trained you to fall over. We don't train losers, mate.
Had 8 bare knuckles, 2 world title fights, come off a knockout win against Silly Deacon, and think they're going to get me in there for a name to come off a win off me. They got another fucking thing coming.
But don't they realise you've got the toughest scaffold in Britain, mate?
That's what I mean. I put a 5 foot round his head to cunt after. No, I'm joking.
But listen, you do what you've been doing in the gym, mate, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine, mate. You know what I mean? That's what I'm more than happy. You know what I mean? Obviously,
In
like,
and out, footwork.
yeah. Well, listen, we
head moving.
we do.
It's still boxing, isn't it, Chaz? It's just boxing, mate.
Listen, it's about your head movement. If you can move that head,
Yeah.
you got what's called lateral movement, and move your feet. Listen, Kevin Mitchell texted me earlier. He went to keep the head moving. If you can't move your head, he said get your feet out of the way. He said if you can't get your feet out of the way, he said bite down in your gumshoe and go for it, you cunt. That was Kevin Mitchell's words.
No, I don't know. But I'm looking forward, even though I'm a bit apprehensive because it's like we're gonna, you know, obviously you're gonna be a bit closer than me, but it's the first up close kind of, you know, I've seen this, you know, so it's going to be interesting. But I'm more than confident in what you've done now.
Do you know what?
Do you know
what, Dom? To be honest with you, win, lose or draw, I'm happy with myself where I've come from and where I am now.
Exactly. Look how
I've come a long way,
shape you're in, mate. You know, look how good a shape you're in. You know, obviously you want to look as good as me, but we ain't got enough time.
I would like to. Hence, that's why Dominic Negus has gone back to the gym now. Wants to fight again because he's seen me.
Joking. I've seen you, son. If you can do it, I can do it. You know?
I know you have. He's at home. He ain't drinking. He's thinking, that little fat cunt. How can he do it? I can't. Right, I'm going for it.
Well, the only thing I keep forgetting, I'm about 14 years older than you, though. You know, I've been through the mill a little bit, you know, but but just saying that the banter we've been having down the gym, I think it's been great. And I think it all makes us feel like kids again, doesn't it? You know, it definitely has for me.
It's brought it all home, and it's just nice to.
Yeah, nice when, like, obviously Dapper turned up the other week. How good was that, mate? You know what I mean? Just
Lovely.
and it's your pal, and you know, not a lot of people would do that, would they?
No. That we've just opened the channel now, YouTube. I've just been with him tonight. We just had a meeting, me and Dapper. So me and him are teaming up now as a tag team. It's called Dapper Chazza. Dapper Chazza Challenges and Antics on YouTube. Right. So we've we're gonna open this up and stop.
Now, if people want to, I know there's probably people watching. I know Jack. Dan, but how did I thingy for the chat for the fight? How did I do that? How did I get
Let me stop you a minute, mate.
Go
on. I thought this was just us in here. There's people watching us.
Mate, this is live, mate. This is going live.
Oh, you're
live on Facebook, brother.
You're live.
She's laughing. She's laughing.
You nutter.
Are you fucking joking? I'm swearing and everything.
No, this is real talk, mate.
Have a look on Dominic's page. It's on there.
Yeah, mate.
You'll see yourself.
Can't I share on my page?
Only do whatever you want, but listen, what I'm saying is, okay, right. So how do people get the fight? How do they do for pay-per-view?
So, if you're on Instagram, Chaz Real Talk, Facebook, Chaz Simmons, I think that one is Chaz Simmons. There'll be links in the bios. You click on
there at the end.
You click onto the link, and then it tells you to download the app. You download the app, and then you go on to the 27th of March, fight night, 14 bare knuckle fight. Starts at 9 o'clock at night, finishes at 1 in the morning. You got 2 world titles, 4 British titles, me, a great undercard. It's going off. It's going to be naughty. It's going to be saucy. Get the birds round. Get the beers round. Get whatever else you got to get round. Have a night of it. 27th of March.
Yeah, copy. That's it.
What's that, mate?
How are you mentally preparing for this?
Mentally, do you know what? It's hating it. It's a different ball game. So, you know, got to be careful what I say because someone's here. But do you know, when you're there, like at night time, I think to myself, like, this man has tampered with my mum. This man, I want to hurt this man. I don't want to fucking play games with this man. I want to hurt this man. And I'm sort of like mentally disturbed anyway. So I want to hurt this man.
Well, you are from South London, aren't you?
Better be where you're from, you prick.
Well, no swearing. This is a family channel.
I didn't swear. I said the P word.
Oh, no, the P word. All right, then. I'll let you have that one. Next one, you got a pay for.
Why have?
Hey? It's funny you saying that, Chaz, about, you know, that's the way you're getting yourself ready. Old Marvin Hagler died on the weekend.
So sad. So sad.
and very sad. But he used to say the same thing. Exactly what you were saying. You know, you've got to have that in you. If you ain't got that in you, you know.
Look, I want to shake his hand after. I hope we both walk away
Yeah.
unscathed. But look, it's a different ball game to boxing. There's no gloves. The knuckles have got to be bare.
Yeah.
And listen, you're taking people's jaw for a walk. You're breaking their noses, their eye sockets.
Yeah.
And I don't really want that happening to me. So I'm going to go and take his head off before he takes mine.
Yeah.
I ain't going to go to the points. Let's be real. Someone's going to sleep. As long as whoever goes to sleep, wake up. But listen, that mentality, I'm very jumpy at the minute.
Well, listen, if you weren't like that, Chaz, then I'd be worried. You know what I mean? If you weren't, you know, I want you being like that. I want you being edgy. Obviously, like, you know, you're lucky enough you've got your lady with you there, mate. Because you know what I was like, Dan, you remember I was like 2 weeks before a fight, my woman used to have to piss off home. Mind you, I think she's still other fella, but it's a good excuse.
We had it the other day. I come out of Tesco's and I drove around the night and a van come in, but I nearly hit the van. I went, I wanted to get and punch this geezer's head in. Anyway, I got home, the geezer texted me on Instagram and said, "Was that you, Chaz? I see in your car going mad." I said, "You cunt, like you didn't fucking stop."
Yeah, but you know, someone could look at you funny and they don't realise what you're going through. This sport is such a mental sport, ain't it? And it ain't always the best. It's the one that holds the pressure together, you know. And it's all I know is come next Saturday, you're going to be the fittest you possibly can.
Yeah.
And what they call all the best, it was the best laid plans to mice and men. You know what I mean? It's going to be, you know, it's all in the God's hands, only. But you do what we've worked on, you're going to be all right, mate. You know what I mean? You know, as you said, I don't know I'm getting hurt, but I'm afraid, you know, this ain't tiddlywinks, is it? This is the hurt game, I'm afraid. And
this is it, mate.
You know,
I've worked hard for it, and listen, I've worked hard, and all I could do now is Saturdays go out there, get this win, and know exactly what we got to do, and let's get another one up to this if everything goes right and I'm happy with it. But like I said, I've come so far. I'm so happy, and
I thought I might have a go, Chaz. Bit of bare knuckle, but I ain't got no bears or gorillas to fight me. You know,
Matt,
you know what I mean? I need a big bear to fight, don't I? You know what I mean? Some big twisted bear.
Do you know what? I want to mention this as it goes. It's funny because whoever's watching this live, Dominic Negus, when I was professional boxing, he used to do the security. I never forget him. And I always knew he had a little bit of love for me because he used to let me get away with murder. And he used to walk me out and you'll call one way or another, I'm going to get you, wasn't it? That was my tune. The last time I see him was Bradley's skeet fight, Wembley.
Yeah.
And you pulled me away from Bradley's skeet.
Yeah, the way, wasn't it? The way, yeah.
But you didn't have to pull. You went, come and listen up now, Chaz, turn it in. And I was all right, Dominic, I just wanted to let him know.
Nah, listen, it was good. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's for the respect turn, ain't it? You know, I think with a boxing game, it's very much like that. I mean, it's like, you know, if you're a kidder, you get found out in this game, but reputations go a long way. And a lot of respect, I think, goes a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, and people do. I know you know you've got this, you know, the scaffolding thing going on, but listen, everyone knows you can fight, mate. And if they don't, they only got to do their own work, don't they? So, you know, that's what it's all about.
I've got a picture of you somewhere, Chaz, when you beat Daryl Still. That would have been the fight before.
That was that was the fight before Gavin Tate.
No, still, you won. I think it was the second time you won the Southern Area.
Okay, it was the one before.
After a couple of fights after Gavin Tate, I think it was. That was at the Elephant and Castle as well. I used to like that venue. We were saying, I think it's shut down now, the Coronet.
Yeah, it's shut. Yeah, it used to be a nice little compact area.
Yeah,
it was.
And I used to cook a bit of. You remember that?
A bit of what, mate?
Jerk chicken. I used to cook a bit of jerk chicken out the back.
Yeah.
And I used to get changed in under the railway arches. You remember?
That's right. To be honest with you, I was out the back in the up the stairs bit. I got changed.
Yeah.
I didn't go under the railway bit. I had a little bit of.
You had a posh bit, did you?
I had the posh bit. I said I've done a bit of them scallywags under the railway.
Posh bit.
And I looked
Posh
down
bit.
and I see Dominic Negus down there. I said, yeah, keep me
Oh,
up
like
there.
that was, yeah, you're trying to get my sleeping bag.
Last time I was in there, the last thing I remember, I was just on the way home, and I thought, I'll go and I'll go. And the security guy, he's next to the urinal eating a Chinese. He was. Made me feel sick.
Nice, nice.
Oh, shit.
He was.
What are you doing for the rest of the night, Chaz? What you got lined up, mate?
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch a film, mate. Gonna chill out, drink some water. I got a litre of water to drink tonight. Keep
Okay,
yourself
mate.
hydrated.
All right,
And
mate.
then early night. Gonna get up tomorrow. Got gym in the morning, and then running in the afternoon. That's it, really, mate. Just it's coming now, and it's here now.
Listen, mate,
So
we've got Saturday, couple of sessions next week. You know what I mean? So, you know, going, listen, I'm well happy with the weight. We're on weight now, which is good. You know what I mean? And that's it. So we ain't got to worry about the weight, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm not worried. I'm not worrying now. Look, I know my hands are gonna break. I know I'm gonna get a broken nose again and my eye sockets. It is what it is. A dangerous man is a man that always says it is what it is. You know why? Because he had so much failure, so much shit gone on in his life. He's come to the point where he's not bothered no
man,
more.
does it,
It's
exactly.
what it is. So I just go through with the fucking pain. Whatever it is, it is. I got to deal with it and get the fucking win. That's it. As simple as that. I'm starting to get a little bit fucking stressed now.
No.
But
So I wasn't being rude. That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to sit here all night, mate. Once you said to beat, you want to piss off, you can, mate. You know what I mean? It's just a lump and chat for you.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you come on board, mate, because I wanted you to say your bit, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
thank you. No, I appreciate being on.
Nice to see you, mate.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go. The woman's sitting here waiting for me to watch this film. So
well, go on, then, mate. Right, piss off then.
I love you.
Love you, Chaz. Thanks for everything, mate. Thanks for making me feel like a kid again, mate. It's been brilliant, mate. It's been brilliant.
I don't know why you got a swim cap on. Take it off. Oh, no. You're sorry, mate. I forgot.
All right, mate. All right. Listen, give me
hair.
a big one. I'll see you Saturday. Right.
Boys,
Love
I love
you,
you.
Love you,
See
mate.
you
God
later.
bless you Saturday, mate.
Boys, thanks for
Safe.
having me.
Take
Bye.
care.
No worries, mate. See there, Jack. That's what we want. More people like him on board. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's listen, he's such a good lad, you know what I mean? And listen, you know, we're going to go and this stuff. He's been through the mill a little bit, mate. He's had an hard life. All this, he's a very jovial lad. He really is. He's got such a good sense of humour on him. But listen, he's had it hard. I promise you, he's had. And to see him in the gym and just, you know, we're all trained together, and everybody we're saying about, like, we got this. I mean, obviously that's the point Danny's been on here, like writing a new book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, he's got his own book there, mate. Like you have. I mean, Jake, obviously you and Dan. I think everyone's got a book in them, ain't they? Really, but I mean, he's had a very interesting life, that lad. And he's one thing about him, he's a grafter. He works hard. Whatever he does, he works hard. So it's, you know, it'd be nice in a way to be part of the ride so far, because as he said, he ain't over after this fight. He wants to fight again. So let's just see what happens with it, you know.
It's nice to be part of someone else's journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's been nice to. I mean, after all what happened with the boys I was training before, I didn't think I'd want to train anybody else. But when he phoned me out of the blue and he went, Dom, would you, you know, a friend of ours, Terry Hills, his name is, Chaz knows him. He's Terry Stone's mate, and that Nick Nevin, they're all pals. And, you know, and Terry said, well, Dom's doing the training. Why don't you go and see him? And they come over, and as soon as from the first time I took him on the pads, we just clicked, you know. And it's like, and the kid can fight. He really can fight. And I always said to him, not so I was any better training than he had before, but I just said it was such a shame that I didn't have you when you were a pro, because I'm hoping perhaps I could have made him do a little bit better. But listen, like Dan to tell you, he was a good pro anyway, weren't he, mate? You know,
he was a good pro. And I think as well, with the bare knuckle thing, I think what his opponent's got to think about is, you know, Chaz Simmons boxed professionally for 18 years.
Yeah.
He was boxing in, you know, early 2002, 2003. I think he made his debut. Twice Southern Area champion. You know, he's not what you call a mug.
No, definitely not. And he, you know, and You know, he just does. He's honestly, see what he's like. He's been in like you've only just met the guy, and he like feels like you know him all your life. He's a very staunch lad, and he's what I love about him, what he said about the loyalty things. Very, very loyal. And it's listen, Danny, you know I've been it up the arse with the loyalty thing. With this boxing game, it ain't. It's just for the dogs, really, ain't it? So and it's I think we've all got to ask to smack one way or another there. But no, it's good though. It's all good stuff. But perhaps we move on to something else, Dan. What do you reckon?
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I'm looking forward to doing this book, Dom.
No, but
I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, Jack. Obviously, that's what Dan's come on. Dan's come to us with an idea about doing well, we sat there before. Obviously, we were thinking of going elsewhere, but obviously, Dan sat me down and said we could do this book. Dan's put it out to a couple of people already that they haven't bought the book yet. Basically, hopefully, it looks like it's a bit of a done deal. Yeah. So it's, I said to Dan, what I want this book to be about, as I've said before, I want other people to get their chance to tell their stories about me, including Dan. I mean, Dan, not always good stories. I know I've played up with people, but it's like where just other people get the chance to tell stories about me, like, good or bad. And it's, I thought Dan has structured it for me, which that's what he does.
It'll be a different thing to the last couple.
I mean, literally, one thing about us is that we're quite brutally honest, aren't we? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like I'm not trying to cover things up. And listen, we keep saying we can't keep going on talking about our past, but some people only know me from my past, won't they? And most of the stories you probably are going to hear out of certain people is going to, someone's going to get one on the chops, ain't they? Because that's what they, most of the people.
There's a couple of people go for a kick.
Well, and I think you've been there more than once, though, Dan, haven't you?
A few times.
Certainly in certain restaurants we used to go into.
Yeah, we still can't go in.
Yeah,
still can't go in there.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it.
Do you remember that?
This was what?
Do you remember when John and Freddie come in the door and it just went? Yeah. It just went. Yeah. And poor old John was half asleep.
Yeah.
Remember?
I see you running across the table. Running across the table at these people.
Yeah.
And it was absolute carnage. Do you remember the day after when we tried to go back and get
but what's it called? Mum went in for Steve's mum.
In the end, but I went in there first.
Yeah, remember?
And this was the day after. I've walked in the door of the restaurant. This was like 2:00 the day after. So it was, it was at least 13, 14 hours after it had happened. I've walked in the door, right, and the restaurant's full of coppers. So I've walked in there and I've done this and I go, straight back out again.
Takes him for days. But do you remember poor John, though? Because all I remember is he walked in, the geezer's got a clump, he's gone, and all of a sudden, he's got stuck, he's trying to hold on to the door, and they're trying to drag him outside, weren't they?
That's
the
right,
had a table leg. Oh, it was
one of them take a chair outside.
Yeah, he tried to, and remember he had the fish tank there. Remember the bloke with the fish out, especially in against the fish tank, he goes, I've had enough. I said, you'll have enough when I tell you. We only
plenty of that in the book. Plenty of that in the book. But I'm not, violent person or anything like that.
No, am I, Dan. I'm just misunderstood.
Exactly, misunderstood.
Yeah. Why are you doing that, Jack? What's all that about?
Well, goodbye, mate. I've never been violent in my life.
No, that's it.
There's a load of stuff that hasn't been in any of the other books. That he's true. It's true stories. There's not going to be. I'm not going to tart it up or anything. I'm going to tell what happened.
Yeah, but
certainly in 3 or 4 of the chapters. Anyway, I'm just going to talk about.
What about the other 34 chapters?
Yeah, the thing is, we weren't able to get curry that night, were we? We had to settle for pizza. Do you remember?
You remember? I remember. Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, I remember. Do you remember the next week then? Exactly what happened the next week, weren't it? I think we had 2 tartares in the same restaurant,
We
like
did.
weeks apart.
No, I
That's
think
why
the
we couldn't go
serious
anymore.
one, the serious one, the one that we talked about was the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
The week before, we were sitting down in there and we'd ordered, and Cod
yeah. That's it.
started something outside with a load of. There was a massive crowd of dudes. And do you remember where Woolworths is?
Well, yeah, I can listen, Dan. I
Right.
remember like it was yesterday.
And the guy, he's come at me with a bottle down the
You
alley.
remember he smashed the bottle?
And you
Yeah.
said, chuck your coat over his head.
Mate, that's
I
exactly
chucked
how it
my
happened.
coat over his head. You've hit him. And
Well, that was it, weren't
we
it?
went and got a pizza, didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you
when
remember?
the police turn up.
And we walked back. This was about an hour and a half afterwards, and he was still unconscious. Bless him.
Because I remember the bloke come out and he said, you better go. Because we're only about 20 then, 1920, weren't we? I remember he goes, you better go.
Yeah.
And next minute he goes, the police are coming. And next minute he's going, mate, what a great left hook. You know?
Yeah.
But
He
no,
was he was still trying to get his name.
every time. And it's like, well, you know what it's like. Then I just seem to pay the price because everyone thought, oh, Dom's happy doing it. And I'd beat myself. Oh, why did that happen? Remember, Steve used to say, Steve's famous saying was that could have been avoided. He always used to say that could have been avoided. But,
From my point of view, though, Dom,
yeah.
and from someone, what I want to get across is the geezer was coming at me with a bottle.
Yeah, and
He was going to do me with a bottle.
Oh, yeah, well,
Right,
you
and
know.
he got a right hander off of you.
It wasn't, it was a
and I'm
left hook,
grateful for
actually.
that. Was it a left? Was it?
Yeah, it was a left hook. Yeah.
I think I
can
must have
remember it.
been facing the wrong way or something.
You probably were. Well, was that when you were running away then?
Yeah.
You saw it
I
in
was
the,
throwing my coat like this.
Yeah. You running down the road, you thought you were Batman.
Yeah.
I was robbing. Nah, you know, we had some mad times growing up, though, weren't it? You know, and Paul, and that's the other thing with the other situation. I remember John was supposed to be going to what's it called? He was supposed to be going to America, weren't he? And he was worried because he thought we were all going to get nicked. But we all
That's right, and they weren't going to let him
go
in.
away, didn't they? Do you remember? Just go home. He said, just go home. So
Yeah.
but,
He was worried because who was he going to America with?
was it remember Matt and all them lot? Because I was supposed to go. We were supposed. Was it Matt and that? Yeah. So, but you know, I don't know, mate. Just mad life is on. It's
John come down for your last fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
We had a good drink that night afterwards. Actually, I didn't get home.
Well, listen,
till
we do it
about
again. We'll do it again. I'm going to do one. We'll do one next year. Gets me back in the gym again. I've just started. You know what I mean? I said, well, I ain't had a drink since Christmas. I'm on this diet plan thing, so I just eating all these pre-prepared meals. And it's just I said to Chaz, what we do, we get Chaz out of the way next week, then we can all do a bit together, kind of thing, you know. And obviously, Sparta's going to open up soon.
Yeah,
you get back in there, which is great.
it'd be good to get back in there. I need to get back in there, you know.
Yeah, we'll try and get Jack to come down, won't we, Jack?
it's been a long time since I've been in a boxing ring, lads.
Well, don't mate, you know. Well, I used to get up in the morning, didn't I? Eat the old bag with a couple of hands, and she used to make me breakfast. Dun. I'm here all week. Yeah, that's why she left, mate. And a breakfast and shit.
See, this is why you need an editor, Dom.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's better live. That's why we can't have them things. We just got to roll with it, haven't we? So
that's it.
But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But Gun, anything you want to talk about tonight, Jack? We're on the roll, mate.
I mean, there's a few things we could talk about. I did want to tackle mental health in men.
Yeah.
Tackling it at the minute.
I mean, I've been working with a fella called Adam Illaby, and he came over my house and he did he filmed. It must be for a good 2-3 hours about how we're talking about mental health. It affects like men like us, like Chaz, like myself, like all of us. Just grafters, we're all men, but you know it affects people differently, doesn't it? Yeah. And back in the day, as men, we weren't supposed to show that kind of stuff. We're supposed to be tough, but sometimes, especially at the moment with this COVID, and life is tough. Life's really hard at the moment. It's like, you know, it's like we're having this is nice to have a bit of banter, having a laugh and a joke. But then sometimes it's like where I just see all I'm doing is like it's Grand Dog done, going to work, You know, normally I'd have Bella at night. Obviously, you know, because we're doing this tonight. And, you know, the poor little thing. When she wakes up on a Thursday morning at 5 o'clock, I've got to take her home. So that's why I haven't got her tonight. But did I mention I've got a daughter? You know, I'll get that one in there quick. See, but no, but just with the mental health thing, it affects everyone differently. It's like me at this moment. I'm going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, and that's all it is. You know, and it's. You know, and I'm wondering when I mean, I don't know if there is going to be any into this at the moment. I mean, they're saying like, you know, April the 12th, the gyms are going to open. But then again, is it going to open? I mean, they've got the third waves in Italy at the moment. I mean, this is the first year in 10 years. My mum, 9 years. Mum's, was it 10 years? 10 years, 9 years. 9 years, mum. My mum's gone 9 years, right? It's the first time in 9 years I could go and go over to the grave because of this COVID thing. So we're gonna try and do something with that. But it's, you know, but now the third wave's out there. We don't know what's going to happen now. So we've got to wait and see now.
I think we're in it for quite a while. The thing is that all this sort of toxic masculinity that's about, like, you know, the amount of times I've been told to man up. Oh,
I hate that.
You beat an bastard, and now you're fucking moaning like a woman, and it's like, well,
what does it mean, man up? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck does it mean? What?
Yeah, man, the times I've got upset in front of people, right, and the amount of times people who look so uncomfortable.
But you're a very emotional person, Dom.
Yeah, but you know that anyway. I mean, but I can get up and I think, hold on, if I trust you enough, you know, not everybody gets to see that side, but then it's hard because then when you let your guard down, then you feel afterwards, well, you're not being accepted in the way you think. Like, because sometimes all I've ever wanted is someone to put their arm around me and go, do you know what, Dom, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. That's all we want. Sometimes a bit of reassurance. And then people look at you, as you just said, man up, or what are you doing? What are you crying for? And you think, for fuck's sake, you're like, well, you know what I mean? It's, you know, that ain't what you want to hear. And it's hard enough. Life out there at the moment is hard enough as it is. You know. It
is. It's hard. And another one, where when people say, "Yeah, I know how you feel."
Oh, fuck off.
You don't fucking know how I feel, mate. You're not in my head.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I mean, you know, you have them days, Dan, when you're telling me that's, that's white, and in my head that ain't, it's red. You cannot tell me that's what. No, that's red. That's red. I remember being in a pub with Big John, and the song come on, and I'm saying, "What's this song called?" And it was "Here Comes the Sun," right? Yeah. And I'm saying this bloke, and I'm saying, mate, you ain't in the game. It is. It's called "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles. No, it ain't, mate. And I was so angry, and the bloke went, mate, call it what you want. Call it what you want. But then the next day, come on, I've got to be mate. John said, "It's Here Comes the Sun." And John just looked at me and went, he just shook his head, goes, "Fucking mad. You're mad." And it is, you know what, like, you know, you're just as bad as me when it comes to trivia stuff, Dan. Yeah. Where we think we know it all, but it's just so mad. And I think, well, how come on, you know, certain things just don't register sometimes. Yeah. You know, and I don't, when they call it in America, they call it the black dog, don't they? And the black dog's coming. I mean, I'll get it sometimes. I can, and the baddest days I have is like on a Monday. I hate Mondays. You know what I mean? It's just, I think, because we're back to work again, I'll drop my daughter off, but it just always seems to creep in on a Monday. And it's hard to shake it off sometimes. Yeah. And if you don't shake it off, it gets a grip with you. So all of a sudden, you've got to try, what I say, I remember like Andy, you know, Miles and Andy and Barry, but anyway, says one great thing is always make your bed in the morning. Always make your bed. And I always do that. And I say, but always make your bed, because they say, why is it? Because you've completed one thing to start the day. Then you can go on to the next thing. But like, you know, I'd like to make my bed, so I just come jump in it when I get home. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, everyone's
Sunday night's the worst for me.
But why do you think that is, though, Dan?
It's usually because, I mean, I do a lot of work on the weekends.
Yeah,
I do a lot. I work from home most of the time. I've been in the office today working, but most of the time for the last 5 or 6 years, I've worked from home. So for me, the COVID thing, whilst yes, it's you know, I can't go out, I can't go to the gym, I can't do this, can't do that. As far as the actual working side of things concerned, that's what I've been doing for the past 5-6 years anyway. I used to work in the office, and it's a long story that I won't go into, but basically I resigned the position and then they took me on freelance the week after.
Yeah.
So since then, I've been working at home and I'm used to it.
Yeah.
But I think it dawns on you, you know, if I've had a lot of work to do on the weekend and maybe I haven't quite got it finished or something, the Sunday night is the sort of, I've got to have this ready for Monday morning. Not necessarily because I've got someone to answer to or because there's any money attached to it or anything, but it's a sort of it's an organisational thing. If I get that done, you know, whatever it is, and a lot of the stuff I do is computer related, and there isn't necessarily an answer at the end of it. So on Sunday night, for me, that can get quite, it can get a bit depressing Sunday night. That's my Monday morning sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's like just really weird because I could go to bed on a Sunday night all happy. Nothing. Yeah. There's no problems. Bella's in her room. We're watching telly, and I'll wake up Monday, and all of a sudden you think, oh, you just don't feel right, you know. And it's I mentioned before, it's like hard for me because I've got this, you know, like, and I've got this empty kind of thing in the pit of my stomach. Had it for years, and obviously, you know, we're going to go like, you know, and it just seems to be empty, you know. Perhaps I'm just looking for something to fill it, you know what I'm saying? It's like we all need different things, don't we? We all need, you know, perhaps it's my kryptonite, perhaps it's what I need to sort me out. It's, you know, it's quite a lonely life I have sometimes where it just, you know, it's either me or me and Bella, me or Bella, you know, obviously, because if you think about it, it's nearly a year ago, so a year ago now, the COVID thing kicked in, didn't it? Like all the shutdown stuff. You know, and it's like, where I work at this hostel, I mean, you know, some of the people suffering there, you know, because they can't do what they want to do. And, you know, you do feel for them, and, you know, there's not a lot you can do for them, you know, and it's, you know, you can see it's affecting them as well. And, you know, we've all got mental issues, but I think it's if you're brave enough to tackle them or brave enough to try and face up to them, because I think as men, we try and just push it underneath the carpet, don't we? You know, it's... So,
and a lot of people think that they can't, they haven't got, it's not that they can't speak to someone about it, it's that they haven't got anyone to speak to about it, that you know, they don't necessarily know how to go about getting counselling or they don't know how to go about getting help for a mental issue that they've got. And, you know, like when I was talking earlier about like I sometimes get a bit depressed on a Sunday night. That's not what we're talking about as far as mental health issues concerned. That's just me getting a moody one on because I ain't done any work. Yeah,
because you ain't pulled your finger out.
It would be trivialising to compare that with any sort of mental health issues that males specifically males, I'd say, are going through, would be to trivialise it. And you know, we see that. I don't like the bloke that Piers Morgan. I can't stand him. I know some people might think, oh, he speaks the truth and all that. I can't stand him. I remember when he was frog marched from his desk for publishing pictures of British troops torturing Iraqis, and he knew they were false.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he still published them, right?
Yeah. And
people got short memories, you know, and you've got to put up with him being a smart ass on your telly. I can't stand the geezer. And for him, now he will say now that he was trivialising, that he wasn't trivialising, he was generalising, and he wasn't focusing on a mental health issue. But if someone says that to you, I have had a mental health experience, or this is a problem, for someone else to poo-poo that is wrong. That doesn't matter whether that's, he wouldn't say that to Tyson Fury, would he?
No.
I don't believe a word he said. He wouldn't say it, would he?
No.
No, of course not. Of course
you
not.
know, geezer's full of shit. Anyway, that's just my opinion about. I'll shut up about him anyway.
No, but go on. What about you, Jack? Go on, over to you, mate. Where do you have your dark bits?
I can't really pinpoint a day or anything like that, but when my mental health works in different ways, you know, because I've been an addict most of my life, and I've suffered with mental health issues for most of my life, most of them brought on by self, but a lot of it is confidence for me.
Yeah.
When I get sort of when my mental health starts to get really bad, it's that little bit of self-sabotage, and it's my head saying, oh well, you know, you don't deserve this, you're not good enough, you'll never be good enough. When I started this accidental journalist stuff,
Yeah.
you know,
But listen, I'll get you. Oh my God, you've just summed up some stuff there. I was talking to my friend Emily the other day, and it's just like, do you know what? I'm all right. Sometimes I have to say, I'm all right. You know what I mean? You know, I'm working hard. I deserve nice things. It's like yourself. You've gone through all this trouble to get this podcast up and going. Slowly, you're making headway now, ain't you? You're getting all right. You're not where you want to be, but you're further than you thought you, or you're further down the road.
I'm getting there.
But it's only through hard work, yeah. No one else has done it for you, have they?
Yeah.
So when you sit there and you go to yourself, you know, no, well, I'll do that. All right, good enough. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not, you know, I've had certain situations, you know, but my biggest thing, I suppose, is, you know, not talking getting down the road, it's like with women, it's like, you know, well, I was with my woman for so long, and all of a sudden, you know, there's a couple of people out there I've mucked about a little bit, and I shouldn't have, because it's like, because it's not them, it's me. The lack of, you know, listen, I'm not talking about fighting now, are we? It's like you go down the road, someone says, smack them, that bomb, it's done. That's easy. You know, I was born to do that. You know what I mean? I was born, I was trained to do it, just make things easy. But when certain other things come on, it's harder now. It's harder, you know, where you're put in a situation, you do, as you said, am I good enough? And it's just, and before you know, you're doubting yourself. But you've already said you're doubting yourself, not doubting no one else, you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And realistically, it ain't, you know, we should be putting ourselves on pedestals in a way, going, of course you're good enough. You know, who's to tell me that man's better than me? Or once that starts, it's a different thing altogether, isn't it? You know, and it's like, you know, but the things you said there is like, you know, you doubt yourself and you have that low self-esteem. You know, my biggest problem was I've got a big ego, but low self-esteem. That makes you a dangerous man. So you put in the wrong environment. Again, we go down the drinking drugs route again. That's why I was getting most of my trouble from. Because one minute I'm thinking I'm not good enough, next minute something to buck me up, to give me a bit of like, you know, Dutch courage, and boom, I'm off, mate. You know, now no one's stopping me. And that's where I got very misunderstood, because Dan, you know, I mean, all I ever wanted was a quiet life. You know, I was quite happy going to the pitches, going to something to eat, pubs, and
knocking a few people out.
But it just happened, though, didn't it? It was never. Listen, people say like I was never a bully.
No.
And I'd always like it'd always be. Well, I got called like, was it JR fly fishing? Like reeling them in, you reel them in, give them enough rope, and then boom, I'll do something. I go, we deserve that. Eat, and the people are going, no, but it wasn't like that. It was. I was half setting things up, and it's like, hey.
Self-justification.
Yes. But you get it, Jack. You understand it. It's like, so when you try and, I'm a big believer that when you're talking to someone about your problems, you need to find the right soldiers or the right people to talk to. Because if you talk to the wrong people, A, everybody gets to know your problems, and B, they don't really get it anyway. I mean, there's some people I spoke to that are so lucky. When you talk about depression, they go, don't know what you're on about. I don't have depression. And it's like, I've never had it in my life. And I'll say, do you know what? How lucky are you? And you don't realise. I mean, with us, I'll probably Jack, you know, me and Jack probably more than you, Dan. Yeah. You know, whatever you explained, we have probably what we call a chemical imbalance, because, you know, there's no happy medium, is it? I wouldn't say I'm bipolar, but I'm either happy or I've got the ump. I would like to find a happy medium. I've only had it when I've been in relationships, because you normally, when you're with someone, they normally, you know, they know how to sort of like to calm you down kind of thing. It was like, you know, when I was with with Bella's mum, she never ever seen me like I've never ever lose. No, I've got the ump. I've never seen me. I've never ever thrown a punch in front of her. Never ever seen me lose my temper because that was never the right place. Don't get me wrong. I've had the ump with some people. She don't know. I've gone back, sorted out myself, but she don't need to see that because I wouldn't want no one seeing that side of me. But it's it's just a different. This mental health thing is really seems to be kicking about a bit now, doesn't it? And everybody's not understanding, but trying to understand it. And it's, again, I brought his name up twice with that Adam, what's it called? Illaby. He's massively into it, trying to get it out there against people like ourselves. There is no problem talking about stuff. We need to talk about stuff, getting things off your chest.
Be honest, aren't you? You've got to be honest.
Hey?
You've got to be honest.
1,000,000%.
Yeah,
listen, I could sit in there, don't you two? Listen, we said before last time, I read a bit about a couple of things we spoke about tonight, but I try and keep the violence out of it now to a degree. But, it's all I could sit and tell you a million stories and I'm laughing. And also, then that's what happens sometimes. When I talk about things from the past, so as soon as I'm on my own, that's when it starts bringing back the old stuff. Because it's like I've dug up a can of worms again. Because what we all try and do, we try and forget things, don't we? I mean, I do. It's like, I'm not happy about certain things I've done. It's like, I don't know if I told you, I was driving back from work, and this is like from Ankley. This is just before Christmas, well before Christmas. And you'll remember this, Dan. I boxed a fella called Chris Emery. I'm sure I told you. I don't know. And all of a sudden, someone put the poster up on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was like the Chris Emery v Dominic Negus. And what happened with Chris, poor old Chris, I got the better of him in the last round and he got knocked out unconscious and he went into a coma. But the mad thing, you remember that? And, and the mad thing was that was back in 97. And all that time, I'd like put it behind me. Never really, obviously, at the time, I remember going to the hospital. I didn't go in to see him, but I was outside. No, this is old news now. But all I'm just saying is like the other time. So this poster's come up, and I also like I looked at my phone, and all of a sudden I'm driving down Levy Road. I had to pull over. I had a right funny turn. Yeah. And I had to phone. Do you remember Lindsay, the girl I was with?
Yeah.
The redhead girl.
Yeah.
She was with me at
the
time.
She was from Newcastle, wasn't she?
No, mate. No. She was from Stondon Massey. She was the redhead.
The hairdresser.
Yes, yeah. She was from here, mate. She was done. But in a long and short bit, I had to phone her up. And she said, your son, was it PMST or something, what they called it, this post-traumatic syndrome? Because what you do, where I tried not to think about it for so long, and all of a sudden it felt like something. I had to stop. I was in a bit, I got myself in the right pickle I did, in the right mess I was. And all of a sudden you start thinking, and all of a sudden I can remember the fight. What about the first 4 rounds? Because I can't remember nothing other than that because it was such an hard fight. And you think, bloody hell, and it's still there. It's still there now. And it is. And then all the depression starts again. So it's a funny old way how things trigger it off, So everyone's different. Everyone's different.
And as you say, 1 minute you can be having a laugh and a joke about a situation. And then later on, when you're on your own and you're thinking about that situation, it's completely different.
I mean, that's so mad, but Daniel's so right, mate. Listen, I try and come across some of this people. I want to have a laugh with everybody. Dom's funny, but then you've seen it up close, mate. You know me. You know me long enough, like well over half my life. That I'm quite more sensitive than people realise. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what brings. I think that also before. I think that's what also makes me so volatile that I can be really happy 1 minute and you say the wrong thing, I could just bang in it, then everything just goes out the window. And then I was going, what have I done? And it's, it's only myself to blame because I don't understand myself. Even at 50, I still don't understand myself sometimes. Yeah. It's just hard work sometimes.
Like a switch.
Back to you, Jack. Go on.
Well, it's like a switch for me. It's like, I've got to be honest. I used to love hitting people, and then now I'm at the point where even the thought of violence makes me shake really.
Yeah.
It makes me, I get sick to the pit of my stomach, and I'll get into an argument with someone, and it'll be, I'll be there and then. But like 10 minutes later, I'll be replaying it over in my head, and it'll last.
Yeah.
Things like
Yeah, but
days.
like, you'll be having that thing going in your head, though. You'll be having that thing in your head where you're thinking you're doubting yourself because you're going, well, 10 years ago, I've had that, I would have just tinned him. I get a lot of that. But me, I just seem to feel like, again, I don't know, I mentioned before, I feel like, I'm looking at it now, I've got a big picture of the Magnificent Seven here. Ian gave it to us. And I feel like I'm that Robert Voigt, the one that he's
Ian
like,
Wilson
he's
giving you,
he's
Dom.
gun shy, ain't he? He's gun shy. To the very end, and he does everybody. Bang, 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 bang. Listen, from someone that used to be so fearless, me, you know me, Dan, I didn't care. Bang, bang, bang. Could be whatever. Now all of a sudden I start worrying about things before they happen. And I start thinking, well, if what happens if I eat this geese? And it's, you know what? I'll say it jokingly to Bella. I said I blame her for that because she's made me realise for every reaction comes a reaction.
Yeah.
So, like me being me, if I hit someone or, not me get it back or whatever, not saying I'm invincible, not far from it, but, but it's, I realise now where before I didn't care, now I not doubt myself, but I just think before I do anything anymore. So if I was going to do something, it's got to be worth it. It's got to be worth it.
Yeah,
because, and that's where the depression used to creep in quite a bit. With that, especially as you said with the violence, it was like, we used to watch all them mad documentaries like we watch CCTV or violence, and we used to say, oh, look at that guy's getting bashed. Now I can't watch nothing like that.
No,
I'll try and watch nice things like on the telly. I watch a film, try and watch it. Now, of course, I like the like certain films. Like I watched my favourite, like Long Good Friday. I watched that the other day, but then got near the end, that turned out it was just too much for me. Now I don't, people say, well, you're a pussy now. I said, no, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? It's, it's just, it seems like I'm going treading over old ground all the time. And that's what we're saying. We can't keep looking back if we want to go forward. So, and it's like, I know what I'm about now. It's taken me 50 years to realise it. And it's like, let's just get on with things and try and live the rest of my life the best way I can,
I mean, like Jack, you've probably got a view on this. The whole genre, the gangland violence genre, is it's an industry and it's worth a lot of money, right? But what I don't think has been tapped into very well, certainly now I don't read a lot of books in that genre, but I've seen a few films in that genre, and I don't think the mental health aspect has been tapped into. By I certainly haven't seen anything where I thought the mental health aspect of such was tapped into particularly well. What do you think?
I think that the gangland genre is such a niche.
Yeah.
And it's been filled with mainly Rise of the Foot Soldier. And although they're entertaining films, it's been over, in my eyes. I love Teddy Stone, great actor. I love Ricky.
Just getting in, Terry's my pal, so be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Just get that one in now.
Love him in Once Upon a Time in London. Jack Spot. But it's Essex Boys or it's this or it's that.
Yeah.
The thing that I've seen that really impressed me was a boxing film, and it was Journeyman. It was
he can act though. He's fantastic.
Paddy Constantine.
Paddy Constantine, yeah.
I mean, that was brilliant. I thought that was a brilliant film. That, but you don't know what amazing was that when he had the bit when he collapsed, he's drinking a cup of tea. When he goes, oh, he's just won the world title. He goes, what do you think? He goes, a nice cup of tea. Then he collapses. I had to stop that bit then because it brought back the Chris Henry fight.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's that again. I said that again. I didn't say that before. That's on my bucket list. There's two people I like to sit there and have a cup of tea with. One is Audley Harrison, obviously, because of what happened. Just to, you know what I mean? But he probably don't remember it because it was like, but also,
Oh, yeah, he'll remember it, Dom.
Well, I
He'll
know, mate,
remember
but
it,
yeah.
Dom.
But I'm just saying, Chris Emery, I'd love to sit down with Chris Emery, have a bit of, you know, cup of tea. Like, how you going, Chris? Because I never ever meant to hurt him. It was just one of them things, you know. And again, I know we come off of like the mental health again, talking about boxing, but just say because you brought up the journeyman, that really that brought how well a film it was, but also how that really affected me. I can still remember it. She's sitting there, he's come out, he goes, I've done it. Then he's got his bag, he's all battered, and he's sitting, goes, and you know, you think he wants a bit of sex or something. He goes, what do you want? You know, and he goes, a nice cup of tea. You know, and that next thing you just see his crash bang when he collapses, and then it's the horseshoe thing in the head, and it's, you know, I've got to say, I know we've had a few casualties in the ring. Obviously, you know, the famous ones are like the likes of Michael Watson, Spencer Oliver, but a lot of people tend to forget Chris Emery. You know, we don't know you know, Dan, you've been a boxing journalist, you remember that. I hate to say, he does get left out quite a bit. You know, when they start, not that it's a medal achieving thing to be in that bracket, but I mean, it always seems. I mean, well, let's remember that geezer. You know, this is like, you know, that's when they'd say, you know, the geezer's willing to die. Yeah, oh my God, he's willing to die. Like we willing to die that night being him, and
but
he
again,
paid the price.
You were there, Dom. Do you remember at the Ring Club when Michael Norgrove?
I was there, wasn't I? Because we had Kelly Greenwood on. And
I was covering.
Yeah, you were there with us. Remember this, me and Lenny?
And I saw we were having a beer and a chat afterwards, but I weren't right on the way home. I saw Jeff Hines follow Michael Norgrove out to the ambulance.
Yeah.
And he was fucking terrible. You know, I couldn't sleep.
And they did, because we're them kind of things, where we've been so up close, it does, it really affects you. I mean, to see that poor Nosgrove, I mean, he was a lovely kid.
He was.
You know, I mean, it was I mean, I've heard a couple of different things, like there was, I mean, I don't know, I'm going to see where he passed away. I was on the phone to Terry Stewart every day. You know, I asked Terry, is he all right? How's he doing? And then also one day, it looks like he's getting better. Well, what they say, before you get worse, you get better, don't you? And obviously then the next day I get the call and he'd gone. And it was like, I just remember I was outside the gym door and I was like in such shock. You think, oh my God, I thought it was getting better. And then going, so you mentioned it once already today, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, I was, you know, that's one tough hombre, weren't it? He was one, if I could have been a quarter as good as that man was, you know, and all of a sudden you see, like, you know, it was Saturday, wasn't it? He died, he come on Saturday. I'm looking there, someone's put it up again. I didn't believe it at first. I thought that was something.
No, I was sceptical at first. I thought it was 3 or 4 days ago. He was.
Yeah, Tommy Owens was saying something, it could have been something, the COVID vaccine. But then
I think that's bullshit.
His wife put something up saying, no, it wasn't the vaccine. It was, there was a complication somewhere. Yeah. But how old was he? 66?
Yeah, 66 he was.
And I'm thinking, like, you know, I always fuck about the year about. So if I make it 66, I'll be happy because Bella will be 32 then. By the time she's 32, she's got her life on track, know what she's doing. I mean, it's like, I'm 50 and I'm still dangling my legs over the side. You know what I mean? It's like, but so the way, look, if I went at 66, I've got another 16 years. By rights, I should be here anyway. But then it's like, let's just try and get as much goodness as I can out of it. But what I'm saying is with Marvin Hagler, you thought Goose was indestructible. Yeah. You always see him, always looked healthy, always. Yeah. And you think, bloody hell, that really, all these things been happening, that really shook me up on Saturday. When I looked at them, you know, and then obviously you start watching all the old fights again, don't you? It's like, you know, the 8 minutes of mayhem, ain't it? So
well, one of my first boxing memories was watching, he just dismantled Alan Minter. Yeah, dismantled him 5 rounds, I think. And then I couldn't, because I'm not just saying this, right, for it to sound romantic, but when you're young, you don't really recognize race.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. The fact that he, you know, I used to have black friends when I was young, and he didn't. The fact that he was black, it doesn't really enter into your head. You don't recognise it when you're a kid. And I could not understand why they were throwing beer cans in the ring.
Yeah.
And my
yeah,
dad
no, I
said
get
to
that.
me, it's because he's black. And I said,
But yeah, but
Oh.
why? Yeah, but yeah, you know.
but that still doesn't make sense.
No, I get that. I do understand that.
4 years later, when you're at school and you know, and racism is a thing at school and it's a thing with kids.
Well, I think listen, we ain't going to get onto the racist thing because that's
no.
that ain't my thing. Listen, you know, I'll just everyone's the same to me, you know, and he will, you know, you see I've been brought up. I've got, you know, friends from everywhere, but it's just, you know, to get down on that. Yeah, but look, I understand what you're saying there. But you know, you're saying about one of my memories was when you went with Simpson. I'll go with you went with Minter. I'll go with Simpson. My dad come in from work, woke us up to make me listen on the radio then. And I always remember, who's the one who used to do the commentary, Reg Guttridge or Harry Carpenter? Well, I remember one of the quotes he said was, Marvin Hagler was it dipped into his tool bag because he dismantled Chivo, didn't he? And that was quite heartbreaking. But it was like, you know, I mean, again, we're coming off game mental, but I mean, like, just Hagler to me that's how a world champion is. He always... I mean, I know he lost to Leonard, and I still say, in my eyes, he did lose to Leonard.
I've never watched it back, Dom. I was gutted.
I think with Leonard,
I've never watched it back. I could never watch it back.
No, but I've only watched it once. But I just think Leonard did what he had to do to win the fight. He did the 30 seconds of every first seconds of the round. You know, you've already said it tonight about the judges at boxing. You know, sometimes you're seeing there to be sitting on, what was that punch? What was that? So all of a sudden, you've got a quiet round where they try and nick him, feeding it, boom, touching. And also, last 20 seconds, you've got Sugar Ray Leonard putting the old, the thing on.
That's what sticks in your mind.
He's nicked around, ain't he? He's nicked around. Yeah. And that's, you know, and do you know what I read today? If Leonard could give back the victory to Hagler to have him back, he would. Yeah. You know, and it's affected everybody, hasn't it? I think, especially in the boxing world. I mean, we work at this hostel. I'm saying I've got a friend of mine there called Hassan. I've got Luke. We're talking, and I go, "Oh, see, Marvin Hagler died." And I go, "Who?" And I'm like, "Shut up, shut up." That's sacrilege. You can't say that. It's like Marvin Hagler's Fantastic Four. I mean, always when they first come along, my favourite was always Duran. But then as I got older and looked, what a fight Hagler had with Mugabe.
Yeah,
mate. Oh my God. I mean,
what's it, right? Yeah.
that's one hard. You know, want someone with a tough chin? Come on, Marv, come down the pub with me. Let's have a couple of pints. You can stand next to me all day long. You know what I mean? It's like, and they were proper shots and all, weren't they? It was like, you know, and I think and all that was probably Hagler's last great fight. I know he had because after Mugabe, did he box Leonard? I can't remember. Did he have another one?
Yeah, Leonard was his last fight,
No, but I mean, after Mugabe, was it Mugabe then Leonard?
Let's have a little look.
See, there we go, Jack. Look, he's straight on. I can't remember was there any in between. Here we go. He's looking it up now. But I just think what I'm saying is I think the Mugabe fight probably took the best bit out of Marv.
It was you bang on, Dom. It was the fight before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had Mugabe,
it was a year after he fought Sugar Ray Leonard,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was like, I think, so the Mugabe fight for me took it out of, I mean, you see that fight and they did some damage to each other that night. Yeah. I definitely don't think they went home and partied.
No.
But I mean, again with the Hagler thing, it just makes us realise none of us are indestructible, doesn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
You know.
That's it.
I mean, if we're talking about fights about, could have, you got to look at Paul Sykes and John L. Gardner.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to go down the Sykesy road here. I mean, he was definitely an hard man. He was definitely an hard man, And I watched that fight, and it was just, but you just had a better boxer, didn't you, that night? John L. Gardner, very underrated.
Yeah.
But then you see John L. Gardner when he goes to America and boxes bloody Michael Dokes. Oh my God, he got knocked out that night. Yeah, Mike Dokes knocked him out. Was it the left hook? Oh my God, he started him proper.
I think as well with what I know about Sykes, etc. He was a very, very hard man, but boxing It's not just all about how hard you are, is it?
Well, yeah, and I've got
Right.
to say, yeah, and I get that, and I do get that.
And
you know,
and
it's like-
Paul Sykes was hyped up a hell of a lot, man. A hell of a lot. Not necessarily on his boxing ability, because everybody knew what a hard man he was.
yeah,
You know what I
I mean, if you watch that fight, I thought he did really well, but you
Yeah.
could just see John L. Garner just knew too much for him in the end,
Yeah.
and it was a,
Him getting tired though as well.
eh?
You could see him getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's,
He just
And
dragged
a
on.
bit frustrated as well.
yeah, I mean, I think John L. Garner was always, his skills were very underrated.
Yeah.
You know, but I thought, what I've seen, it was in the 70s. I mean, I was just, you know, I'm bloody, you know, what I've
Only
seen.
know about it in retrospect, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, I
Yeah.
remember like the John L. Garner. It's like, I still remember Joe Bugdown, his comeback thing. And when he boxed, I think he boxed Winston Allen.
That's right. Yeah,
something
yeah.
Dennis. What was his name? I can't remember, something Dennis. Then he boxed. Then he got Marvis Fraser beat Joe Bugdown, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. And then obviously then we had the Bugner Bruno, because we only talked about it yesterday. Scott Wells put a picture up of Scott
That's
and
right.
Joe Bugner.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, and on my thing,
You
I
were
put on
sparring him,
Facebook,
weren't you, for that?
I remember sparring. Jimmy Mack pulled me up sparring for it. And
Yeah.
but the thing with Scotty, I got to say, and I did say it yesterday, he didn't just teach me about boxing, he taught me about life.
Mm.
You know me, Dan, I'm a very hard learner. And the thing with Scott, he taught me the hard way, you know. And what he taught me, though, was, you know, he said about champions. He goes, what's the difference between you and a champion? And I was like 19 then, or 20. Was I 20? Yeah, and I go, well, don't. He goes, it's just time. It's just time. You know, because I was only an amateur then. And I was about 20, you know, that's about 24 then. Yeah, because I turned pro at 26. And he was just, you know, and he was going, no, I wasn't. But sparring, he was so vicious, Scott.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he took no prisoners sparring. But that's what, you know, that's why I got, when I started sparring, you see what I was like, I'd want to knock everybody out. That's why I could never spar in the end. I'd move about with people, but then weren't sparring. And that's why my stuff was always done on the pads, because I could just let my hands go as hard as I could then. But but I mean, Joe Bugner, very underrated fighter, weren't he? So, but look at this, Jack. We come off from mental health. We've got to the boxing buzz now, you know.
Sorry.
So,
It'd be interesting to see how Scott Welch's boy gets on. He's had a couple, hasn't he?
I think he's had one so far. He got the kid out, didn't he?
Yeah, which you're probably not going to learn anything for the first 7 or 8 or 9 anyway.
Yeah, and also again, that's why I'm glad, like Jack, got you on the show tonight, because I just like how you are, though, Dan. You're very, you know, you're good how you talk, mate. You know, there's no favouritism. You come across like an accidental journalist. You know what I mean? So no, but it's good though. It's good how you're very, you know, how it is. You know, listen, who knows how Scott? What's his name? Tom, isn't it? Tom Welsh.
Tommy Welch. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, there's another heavyweight. Who's the other heavyweight at the moment? Mark Tibbs is training. He's had one knock the kid out the other week in the first round.
Mark Tibbs has got a few, hasn't he, at the minute?
No, he's just a novice. He's just had one fight. Is it Frank or something like that?
I know. Must have missed.
But he's supposed to be a good lad coming through. You know, some good boys coming through. I mean, it's like.
Oh, about Frank Greaves has got one, hasn't he?
Right, okay.
Frank Greaves has got heavyweight as well. I'll tell you what, I'll rate Frank Greaves.
He's done with, yeah, listen, Johnny's brother, yeah. I mean, you know.
I'll rate him. I think he'd turn into a good trainer, because he's a bit more, he's what I would call realistic.
Yeah,
and he only had 3 or 4 fights, right? He didn't have a lot of, I think the reason he had those fights, he's got to have a fight. I know what it's like.
Well, I'll go with that. Yeah, I think he had 3 or 4. I think he won his the 4th fight or 3rd fight he won. Once he got the win, that's when he jacked it in. I think he just wanted to get the win.
Yeah,
but I mean, him and Johnny, they're both good boys to have around you in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think else. I mean, the weekend is a good. What's his name's fighting this week, isn't he? What they call it, the Ginger Rocket Robinson. I think his name's Jamie Robinson, and he's fighting. Is it Allington? He's on the MTK show. And that's up
Jamie
the road.
Robinson. Let's have a little look.
Billy Allington is fighting on Saturday. Is it
Billy Allison. Allington.
Allington? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on now?
Let's have a look. Jamie Robinson. Yeah, he's got Billy Allison to De Vere's in
Now
Bolton.
that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight.
Friday
Yeah.
night.
That's
That'll
gonna
be
be
on MTK, will it?
yeah, yeah. You better watch it on YouTube, won't you?
YouTube. Yeah.
But that's gonna. In fact, all that build. That's the one I want to see. You know, I've
Right.
seen them boys training it. Well, not so Billy, but I mean, it's. I've seen the Ginger Rocket train, and that's going to be interesting. You know, so I mean, there's some good fights coming up now, aren't there? Obviously, we got Canelo and Billy Joe. That's going to be interesting.
What do you think about that, Dom? What do you think is going to happen in that one, mate?
I just think. I think. Well, when was the last time Billy boxed?
I've only ever seen him box where I think he has boxed to his ability in one fight.
And that was with what's it called?
In Canada or something, wasn't it?
And listen,
He
I know
took the
he's
piss
back
out
to
of the
Mark
guys out of
Tibbs.
12 rounds.
I mean, I think there's some great trainers out there. I rate Mark Tibbs, Joe Gallagher, Boofy, all them lot. But me personally, and oh my God, me and Mark Tibbs we're really close with Jimmy. But I'm not talking bad here. But I just think the way he would have beaten better, well, the way he had a chance of beating Canelo, it was if he was back with Dominic Ingle, because that's the style.
Well,
and that's how he was when he was with him.
Eh? It's been his best fight. Best
and then he looked great.
He got him in shape.
Great. He looked great that night. And if listen, hopefully he does it. He's going to be interesting. I'm just really glad Billy Joe's got that fight because he does deserve it. And if there is anybody out there at the moment to beat Canelo, it probably will be Billy.
I think he could. He has got the skill to do it. I don't think he will.
No, but listen, just see what I mean. Listen, we all got a backup for it, haven't we? We all got a backup for it. All I'm just saying, if there's anybody out there that can beat Canelo, it's Billy Joe. Because he's got the style,
He has, and he's got the talent.
I think he's just got to be double fit. He's got to be the fittest of his life. And I just think perhaps having a break for so long since his box last, that's I think why Canelo's been busy, hasn't he? He's boxed twice, ain't he, this year? Or he had one at Christmas and one the other week. And let's just see where it goes from there.
But again, you talking about Mark Tibbs? I really rate Mark Tibbs. What I like about Mark Tibbs, right, is he keeps it simple. Right? Do you remember when Frank Buglioni was getting the crap kicked out of him by someone?
Gone.
And then Frank Buglioni sacked him off after the fight. I can't remember who Frank Buglioni...
Was it not the Russian geezer? He lost to the Russian kid, didn't he, I think?
He got beat up bad. And hang on, I'm going to look it up now because it's... And I'm sorry about this, but I've got to look it up now. He sacked off Mark Tibbs straight afterwards, right? Because, Frank Buglioni, nice bloke, good ticket seller. So obviously there's a few people who've got a vested interest in him as a ticket seller. Was it Chudinov? Yeah, he lost badly to Chudinov.
Yeah.
Good fight, a cracking fight with Markham, yeah. No, that's who it was. I think it was... Yeah, he was someone he should have beat, Dom. Kamitsky, the pit bull.
Oh, okay.
Remember him?
Was that his first loss?
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, the pit bull. He got the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah.
And in between the rounds, Mark Tibbs was telling him exactly what he said. You're not moving your head.
Yeah.
You've got to move your head like you do in training. Move your fucking head, Frank. And then for him to get sacked off after that fight, and it's the same with the Dillian White thing. Right? Dillian White, I don't know whether they fell out. I know they're on good terms and all that, but he come unstuck in his last fight, didn't he?
Well, we're going to see because he's got him again, ain't he, next week, ain't it? So, but I've got to say, going back to Mark Tibbs, I was very fortunate enough that Mark trained me for a couple of sessions on the pads, and I loved his work. I thought he was really good on the pads. Very technical to the point where it's simple. Do you know, like silly things. Like suddenly bring me up, I cut my front, come straight up, you protect your front. And these things, you know, and I always remember, I know we're talking about Jimmy now. There's one bit of advice I was always told, always remember it, all the fighters I trained, if you remember with Ben and Mikey, before and after you punch, you move your head, before and after. And let's always remember that. It was the best bit of advice I think I could ever give a fighter, before and after, you know. And even when you set your feet, you punch, then you move. Set, punch, move. You know, I used to say that in the gym all the time, didn't I? You hear me? Move your head before that. Set, punch, move. Set, punch, move. But, you know, listen, everyone's different, ain't they? So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've got different.
So what's next, Jack?
I don't know. I mean, I've got my eye on what's his name, Ben Hatchett.
Yeah. Oh, he's the one. He's fighting on Alan's show, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing the podcast at the minute.
Yeah, but he's fighting. He's got his first fight now. He's on Mortlock show, Alan Mortlock. So
Yeah.
Oh, is that on the IBA?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's down at the Circus Tavern. That is.
Jesus Christ, mate! I've been there a few times.
Yeah, I know. You've been there a few times with me. Yeah.
Sticky carpet. What's his background, Jack?
He was, from what I could gather, he's done a lot of time in he spent a lot of time in Broadmoor.
Okay.
And he suffered really badly with his mental health.
Okay.
And he was locked away with some absolute monsters.
Yeah.
And then, but he's got out and he's changed his life around and he started fighting.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, listen, we all know. I think we all deserve a chance. I've seen a little bit of Ben. I think he comes across really well. Yeah, and he's you know, I think he's still got a few of his own demons there, but he's fighting a different battle now, isn't he? You know what I'm saying? Which is, and I like things like that. You know, I mean, he's fighting to. You know, I think when you get certain stages, it's about your own legacy, isn't it? It's what you're, you know, look, we all make mistakes. You know, by the sounds he made a few of his own. But listen, I think we all deserve a second chance, and good luck to him. And if the boxing is the way forward for him, good luck to him. Who's, you know, I know with boxing with me, even after the All Everson fight, I was still lucky enough through the likes of Alan, you know, that I got to finish my career. Because I was always going to fight, and it would have probably, if I weren't fighting an Allen show, he would have probably ended up bare knuckles, you know. But it was, you know, I think I did enough bare knuckles down the pub, I think. So, no, but it's like, you know, so, but if that's the way for Ben to fulfill his dreams, then good luck to him, and I'll back anybody. But again, what I've seen, some bits of his, I think he was doing a little bit of training with Potter, I think. What's his name? Lee Spencer's gym, bit of pad work down now. So I think he's been around the gyms a little bit, which is great. So, and you know, he's got a good story to tell. You know, and
you know, that goes to what I was saying earlier. As far as boxing goes, it's a chicken and the egg. There's a lot of the boxing writers. I think Trish Dixon has done a bit on it about the mental health of boxers.
Yeah,
but it's chicken and egg, right? Boxing has. And you know, I've never been a boxer, so I can't speak from experience, but I would hazard a guess that boxing has done more to cure mental health problems than, you know, we hear the stories of boxers coming out of boxing and suffering from mental health issues. But what I think is a good story is how mental health, how boxing has helped.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I mean, what they're trying to do is, aren't they? They're trying to do like things for when your career's over to have something. I mean, that's the bit I always, you know, when I stopped boxing, like even it's only a few years ago because I was on the own license and that, was the regime went out the window. Because that's why I love. Why do you think when I was training the boys, it was great. We would set the show down the track on a Monday. Then we back down the gym to do pads. Right, then we've got to do something else. Tuesday we were doing this. Then we were doing strength training. Or Wednesday we were up at Ricky Hatton's gym. Thursday we're at Amir Khan's gym with Joe Gallagher. You know,
and then all of a sudden,
set, wasn't it? Everything's all set. But once
and all of a sudden, you're doing fuck all.
It's gone, isn't it? And I mean, that's probably why I did start drinking quite a bit, because I had nothing to focus on. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, you know, that was, I think I ate the hardest bit probably a couple of years ago when when I did stop with the boys, you know, because it was I didn't have nothing really to get up for them, was it? You know what I mean? And then you start, it don't really matter, I'll have a drink today, but then you know, you lost all kind of foundations, and I think
you pulled yourself out of that one fairly quickly, Dom.
yeah. I mean, this was just
I
I
was a
knew.
bit worried about you.
No, but this was just like, you know, there was a lot of things going on outside. It wasn't really the boxing, was it? It was personal life got a bit messed up, weren't it?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I was lucky enough to have good friends around me. But then also just come to the point, you know what, you realise, you know what, they ain't no good for me. You know, and it's like you want to do other things then, don't we? So
But again, just very briefly, going back to I suppose for boxers, it's similar in a way. People that have come out of the forces, there is an issue with mental health, and they're not supported, right? They need to be supported.
No,
right?
you're right. I mean,
Government,
they're getting up 5:30 in the morning, ain't they? They're doing their training. This is what they're doing. All of a sudden, bang, it's over.
All of a sudden, they've got fuck all to do. They get put in a flat somewhere, and like, what the fuck do I do now? There's an artist. I think his name's Darren Cullen. And if you have a look at it on the internet, he made a short film a few years ago, and it's done as a pastiche of, you remember Action Man?
Yeah.
Some of the adverts, Action Man, and he did a short film about you know, people coming out of the forces and the problems that they face coming out. And I think it was he did it with an organisation. But it's one of the best short films I've ever seen. It's only about 5 minutes long. It's done with Action Man adverts.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying
you
to
need
look
more
that up.
stuff like that rights to people. You know, you paid hardly fuck all being in the army, right? And when you come out, right, everybody agrees that you need an army. If you don't have an army, things can escalate, etc. They're not properly supported when they come out. And if the government wants the fucking army, they need to do that. If they were properly supported when they come out, then maybe it would be easier to recruit for the army.
No, you're right, mate. You're right, mate. You know, the whole society's all in a mess, isn't it, at the moment? It's like, you know, we're giving away homes to people like asylum seekers, where we got our own ex-military guys sleeping rough in the floor, and, you know, in the bushes and fields and things like that. It's not very good, is it? So, but listen, but also getting back to the book though, Dan, we're gonna pull this off, yeah.
Oh,
we're making this happen.
Yes.
And I thought I don't know, we could call it. Have I told you I've got a daughter? Have I mentioned to you I've got a daughter? Because I've got a daughter, by the way.
No, I don't know.
We're going to do that anyway. So,
we'll have
it. Jack, is that we're wrapping it up there, mate?
Yeah, if you want to, mate.
Yeah, mate. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's nearly bedtime for me.
I could do with a shit.
Thanks for that, Dan. You know what I mean?
Right,
I think we should.
Listen, I'm going to shoot off, lads. Listen, been great, Jake. I hope you get a few lickings on this, mate. Bit different tonight. You know what I mean?
Good to speak to you, Jack.
We should do it again.
Yeah,
I love to, mate. I love to, especially like with you know. I reckon you tell me, but I reckon we should get. I know you really get the badlands, like especially like we get a big fight coming up. Like we should do like podcasts, just like fight night podcast kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, you love your boxing. I think it'd be a good laugh.
I'd watch it back. I don't care if no one else watches it. I'd watch it back.
Right, I'm going to shoot, lads.
All right.
Great talking. And thanks, Dan. Love you, Jack. Always.
I'll see you soon, Dom.
God bless you. Take it easy, boys.
You've got your bill on WhatsApp, yeah?
All right, mate. No worries.
Just don't hassle me in the morning for it. All right.
Get lost. Love you. Love you, Jack. Keep safe.
Nice one, Jack. I'll speak to you soon.
Nice one. Mate. Take care. I can still see you, Dom. You're still there.
I'm trying to get out of here, mate. Yeah, I'm getting out. I'm going.
Yeah. Oh. Thanks, guys, for watching, as always. Yeah, it's been really good. And it's back again. It's been really good. I've really enjoyed it tonight. Some good conversation. And I think we'll probably do it again. I've sort of enjoyed the dynamic between us all. So yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to get Danny back on, and speak to Chaz soon as well, hopefully. So thanks as always. I shall put the links in the comments later for the other podcasts and the YouTube link and things like that. So thanks, and I shall see you again hopefully next week. I've been let down a couple of times over the past few weeks, which is why there's been no accidental journalist stuff. We've got Stephen Simmons coming on, and it's going to be a sort of a difficult one because we're going to be talking about like mental health and suicide, and we're going to be tackling that. So I shall see you again soon. So cheers as always, guys, and I shall see you later.